and Dave Daly right here on the Muskegon channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. That is Dave Cackley over there, who's touching himself once again, and it's always an awkward way to watch him touch his face when we get things going. But hey, I have something exciting to say.
I'm excited to hear it.
Are you? Well, I'd
Yes.
like you to take a look at here. This is my buddy Bill Kinney, and he is from Whitehall, and he got himself a bit roll. Have you ever seen that show Empire?
Yeah,
Have you?
I have. Is that on ABC or Fox?
Fox. It's on Fox.
Okay.
And he is he's right here. He's right. Can you see him? Right.
Yeah. Is he the guy up front?
Yeah, right here in the front. That's him. He's playing a paramedic in the show, and he is he's a carpenter and a millwright and all this kind of stuff. I met him through the election thing, and he is he likes to do acting and all this kind of stuff. He did this on a weekend. He was down there filming this Empire show on a weekend, and his show is tomorrow that you're going to be able to see him on. So
very cool.
Very cool for Bill. Very exciting, and everybody's all thrilled that we've got a new TV star from Whitehall here in Muskegon.
That's awesome.
How about that for Bill?
Fantastic.
I'm glad you didn't ask if that was him on the gurney. Because that's a her on the gurney, as you saw.
Well, I don't know. You know, in fairness to me, I don't know who identifies as what anymore. I'm just
right.
I'm trying to get a handle on just the world in general,
right?
As it is spiraling currently.
I get it.
Yes.
You got some news?
Yeah, I got some news. I'm still dealing with this head cold, man. I got
really?
I've got the day. I had the NyQuil. I'm doing the DayQuil. I got the Flonase. Wow. I'm in a dream state right now.
Do you need a hug?
No, I do not.
Come here.
Not at all.
Come here. Come over here.
Hydrated, ready to roll.
Come over here. I'm going to give you a hug.
Get your arms away. I don't even like it as a virtual, man. Don't. Please. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Oh, all right. Let's get into it. China's president appeared conciliatory in a speech on import tariffs on Tuesday. Xi Jinping promised to cut auto import tariffs and ease restrictions on foreign ownership. Xi made no mention of the dispute with President Trump, but pledged to open China's markets further and improve conditions for foreign companies. I believe China was upset with, I don't know whether they were upset about the U.S. Taxes on aluminum and steel, I believe.
Yeah.
They just, So, this is all part of the whole back and forth negotiations on trying to get a better trade deal. So, we'll see.
We'll see.
What else is going on? The Michigan Supreme Court is set to hear arguments later this week on whether a person has the right to openly carry guns on school property. The case stems from a 2015 incident involving a man with a concealed carry permit who brought a gun to a school concert at Ann Arbor Pioneer High School. Some students and staff were scared, and the school board subsequently banned all guns from campus with the exception of police. Now, here's the interesting thing. You got state law that does not allow people to possess guns inside of a school-free zone.
Right.
But if you have a concealed carry permit, you can enter school property with a gun that's openly holstered. So as long as you're not like hiding it in your sock or anything, if people know that you have it, that's legal. So I don't know. It seems pretty cut and dry that you can have one if you have a permit on school property. As long as you're showing people, as long as you're not trying to hide it. Now, if they find that although the interesting thing is if you're hiding it, nobody's going to know if you have it anyway.
Right.
So I don't even understand the point. This is just weird.
Yeah. And
because I know you have a concealed carry permit.
And just for the record, we have one. I have one. Cindy has one. Neither of us have ever carried a concealed weapon. I don't feel threatened. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking that way. But we took the class for knowledge. We took the class for, if we ever wanted to purchase a firearm at some point, that makes it a little easier to do that. But, and then the option's there. But we've never carried. We've never had a concealed firearm on either of us at any point. But, I don't know.
It's interesting because I've told you how I'm not comfortable around guns. We had a thing that occurred. I work at the family countertop business too, and we had this guy come in to pick up some countertops, and he had a gun open, like holstered.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw, he's come in subsequently 3 or 4 times since then.
What
Now,
is he,
the
rough on
first time I
countertops or
saw it,
something?
what?
What is he, rough on countertops?
No, no, he's just.
How often do you need to come in for countertops? I mean, it's not like socks. It's not like
No,
you wear
no,
them
he
out,
works.
do you?
No, he
Oh.
works for. He's like for these apartment units, and
Oh, okay, all right.
so yeah, so he comes to occasionally pick up tops, and he has
Open carry.
his weapon holstered. Yeah.
Sure.
And first time I saw it, I was, you're a little unnerved by it, but second or third time, it's normal. And at like the fourth time, I even mentioned, I said, when you come in now, I feel safer than when anybody else comes in, because I
Right.
feel like I have my own personal security when
Sure.
I'm carrying your stuff out for you. So it's one of those things. Like I think if students or staff members were around it more often, like if there was somebody who you're around a lot, who you're comfortable with, I
Yep.
think you start to feel differently
Yeah.
about guns, or maybe feel a little more comfortable around them.
I will say this. It's a tool.
Mhm.
It is a device. It's whatever comes of it is at the hands of the user.
Right.
That's it. It will always boil down to that.
Mm.
Simple enough.
I just don't know what the Michigan Supreme Court does here, because
Well, you're getting into the point which so many people on the right side of the gun argument argue, and that is that you add layer after layer after layer of these laws, and then it gets so convoluted you don't know which end is up.
right.
And here I am, running as a Democrat for the state house, and this is what I'm talking about, the middle ground that we need to get back to.
Yeah.
Do we need bump stocks? Probably not, because they're more just of an enjoyment piece for people that like to go out and casually shoot on weekends. But do we need the laws that are there already enforced? Yeah, we probably could do a better job on a lot of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then the argument from the right side, the NRA type guys and all this other kind of thing, is that adding more and more and more laws on top of the laws that are already there and not being adequately enforced some of the time is where the problem comes in.
Right.
And if you think I'm not sitting around talking to people and doing my homework on this other kind of stuff, guess again, because that's what the argument's all about. Enforce the laws that are already there. I mean, sometimes when a crime is committed, the first thing that they offer to drop is the gun charge.
Right. That's interesting.
It's like, don't drop that, stick it to them, and make it stick, and then these things won't be so prevalent.
But then then that becomes a prosecutorial thing. It's like, we want to get a conviction here. We can't get him on this, but we can get him on this.
Right.
So we'll drop this to get that.
Right. So I don't know how it all works and anything like that, but that's what the argument's all about.
Well said. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, high school students, speaking of guns, high school students in Muskegon County calling on state and federal lawmakers to change gun laws. Students are challenging Congressman Bill Huizinga to hold a town hall event on gun control in Muskegon. Huizinga last held a town hall in Muskegon last August. I just think, good for the students. Once again, exercising your freedom of speech. That's great. If I'm Huizinga, I don't even consider doing a town hall about gun control. Huh? Doesn't make any sense. If you saw what happened to Marco Rubio, there's no way to do this, especially from the Republican side, discussing, because there's only one way that the opposing side is going to be prevented, or that either side is going to be presented. It's like, if you're against any kind of gun control, you hate kids, you want kids to die, you're going to look bad. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to hold a town hall meeting on gun control if you're on the opposing side of it, because there's only one way to feel about it. There's only one way to look.
And listen and take the input.
I wouldn't do it.
And consider their side of the story, and take what they have to say back with you.
I would agree with that if it wasn't for the fact that their side of the story has been kind of slammed down everybody's throat for the last, I don't know, few months. I mean, there's, you can't talk about arms.
I'm just saying,
you can't talk about security.
It's his job to listen.
But it's a no-win. My point is, it's a no-win situation.
I didn't disagree with that, but what's the win? I mean, not everything's a win, dude.
Okay, you know what? Fair point. That's a fair point. That's
called the middle ground. When you
Look
realize
at
that
you.
not everything's a win.
Look at you. You are savvy.
See?
You are figuring this thing out, man. I'm
Rubik's
impressed.
Cube.
You're starting to develop these layers of whatever. I don't know.
All it takes is listening. People just want to be heard.
I don't know. Anyway,
that's all there is to it.
Sports. Tigers get blanked by Cleveland 2-0. So much for that 500 record. Cubs, Pirates postponed to the what? This is what I don't understand about baseball, especially in the Midwest right now. Why aren't all these games, unless you've got games scheduled in domes, the whole month of April, just be on the road, be out west, be down in Florida, play the early games in the better weather markets.
You got to be real. You got to be realistic. Think of the lack of sales of Fireball in Detroit if they didn't have early games. Cinnamon Schnapps, Fireball, all that good
exactly.
stuff in Detroit. What are you going to do?
Something to warm yourself up. All right. Yeah, once again, another good point.
That's what I do, man.
That's sports.
Have yourself a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you.